Then, all right. There we go. Okay. Introductions and conclusions. This is in your textbook. When you first start trying to use your textbook, it can be a little confusing, especially if this is one of your first times dealing with an ebook. But if you start getting frustrated with it, let me know. Okay. We're just going to talk about the essay in general first on this page. The introduction is going to be one paragraph, just one paragraph. Okay? And it kind of gets your reader. It's like, hey reader, come here, come with me. I want you to come in to this essay and I want to tell you something. I've got a message for you. So you want to welcome your reader in some kind of way. Now, sometimes the welcome is not so welcoming. Sometimes the welcome's more like, get your butt in here. I got to tell you something and I need you to listen, that kind of thing. Now, you don't use the word you, because you don't want to point directly at your reader like that, but you want to set your tone and have that thesis statement in your introduction. Then you got your body paragraphs, and you'll remember that every body paragraph makes that one point. Remember how I fussed at y'all about those paragraphs you just wrote, and I said, you got to focus on one thing now. That's not so easy. And then all of your body paragraphs are going to prove the point of each of their topic sentences. If you put that topic sentences about basketball, now all you can talk about is basketball in that body paragraph. And then every topic sentence comes directly from the thesis statement. I'm going to show you some of that stuff. We don't care about this sentence right here. Let's move on down. Conclusions. Conclusion is one paragraph, one little paragraph, and if you welcomed your reader into your essay, now the conclusion is saying, goodbye reader, this is my farewell to you, this is the message that I had for you, and I'm going to wrap it up in a little package and give it to you so that you have something to take with you when you go. Okay, now let's look at it and take it apart a little bit more. And these page numbers are in your directions as well. So your introductory paragraphs get your readers ready to read. Should I be mad when I read this essay? That's okay. You can make them mad. You don't have to please anybody in your essay. You want to make them feel something, remember? Should I be sad when I read the essay? Should I have some sympathy? Should I be held in suspense? Should I be excited or happy? That introductory paragraph gets your reader ready to read and helps them decide, what emotion am I supposed to be feeling here? Now, I'll tell you this, and I'm so glad the book said this. I always suggest do your body paragraphs first, and then come back and do your introduction and conclusion. But you do what you need to do, okay? Your thesis statement should be the last sentence in your introduction. I'm not saying it can't be in other places, but I'm saying your teachers probably expected it to be there, so that's probably the best place to put it until you get in your upper level English courses, should you decide to become an English major or something like that. Let's look at some ways to introduce your essays. You can start with a vivid quotation. You know, a lot of people say that, live your best life, right? I'm living my best life. So this is how I played and started like I was starting an essay. Live your best life is that comma doesn't need to go there, y'all. I'm sorry. I get hung up on my grammar there. Live your best life is a common saying these days, and it is good advice. What does living one's best life mean? So I'm pretending like I'm writing an essay about this particular topic here. I would have some more sentences here. This is not long enough for a good introduction. And then boom, there's my 3-part thesis statement right there, right where we want it. You could start with a little story. That's what an anecdote is. So I'm pretending like I'm going to talk some trash about my Uncle Rick here. Always groaning and complaining. I've already set my reader up, right? Reader, you should be irritated when you read this essay. Always groaning and complaining. My Uncle Rick is a huge downer at every family get together. His back hurts. He has gas. And no one made his favorite dessert. Everyone at his job, according to him, is a complete idiot. And then you put some more sentences there, right? Just maybe a couple more. And then I'm going to just go off on my Uncle Rick. 3 different things he needs to change about himself. Because he's such a downer. Alright, you could start by kind of defining something. This was an okay introduction, I think. A best friend is better than gold in a treasure chest. Best friends have many qualities: dependable, understanding, and fun, among others. However, many do not realize that best friend does not mean only friend. The best kind of best friend understands that having other friends is healthy and good. I have many good friends, but I'm proud to call so and so, and then I give my 3 reasons. And that's like this intro was okay. This one I kind of got into, maybe a little too much. Let me roll up a little bit. Background information. It's kind of a true story here. It's not kind of true. It's actually true. Background information to why I don't help people as much as I used to. Doesn't that sound terrible? All right, so I start you out positive. Helping people has always been my #1 goal in life, but now I flip you around and you're like, but wait a minute, what's going to happen? Shouldn't we always want to help people? But sometimes it backfires, and now my reader's thinking, okay, I'm a little nervous here. Thought I was supposed to be helping people. Now this writer's telling me it's bad. For example, background. Once my family helped this lady who was addicted to meth. She was about to be put in prison and lose her daughter, so we drove a long way, picked up her and her daughter, and paid for an attorney. She asked for help. She's kind of a family member in a kind of sort of way, and we were doing what we thought we were supposed to be doing. We put her up in our homes, etc., and then all of a sudden, in the middle of the night, she disappears. She even left her daughter behind again and stole my watch. So now I've hopefully pulled you over to my side a little bit, and maybe you're not 100% with me and you still think you should help everybody. Or maybe you're like, well, I'm glad you learned your lesson, because I've been knowing that you're not supposed to help everybody. So maybe I've got my reader to my side one way or the other, and it so that they're ready now to read my reasons why helping other people is not always a good thing to do. Then one more. We got one more. We're going to talk about Jimmy here. It's okay to challenge your reader. You don't have to be mean to them. A lot of people think that when you let your kids start something, football, for example, cheerleading, then they should have to never be allowed to quit that thing. But I'm going to challenge that notion here. I'm going to say, yeah, children should be allowed to quit sometimes. That might irritate my reader a little bit, but that's okay. I understand that Jimmy, who was 12, so I'm saying, hey, reader, I understand where you're coming from, decided he wanted to play the trumpet. And a used trumpet cost $129. Does that mean that Jimmy has to play the trumpet forever? Maybe he should have to pay for the trumpet. I agree with that. But if he suddenly realizes that he hates the trumpet, then I think maybe we should let him go off and explore something different. Then I give my thesis statement, boom, right there. I'll let y'all read this part on your own. That's more for a research type essay, I think. This is what you should not do in your introductions or your essays. Don't announce that you're writing. This might be appropriate for a psychology paper or something, but not for English composition. Whoops. Don't apologize for what you don't know. You're not expected to know everything, and these are personal essays anyway. And it gives you some more tips on what to do. So I got to scroll up to my next page where we're going to talk about conclusions. Your conclusion is the last paragraph in your essay. You don't have to start with in conclusion. In fact, don't start with in conclusion. Remember, this is your farewell to your readers, your last chance to say, this was my message to you. Let's just skip over this stuff right here. Leave your reader with a dominant impression of your tone and your message. You want them to feel, maybe you still want them to be mad when they leave your essay. You want them to be mad because you want them to think about what you said, or you want them to be happy. You wanted to make somebody's day today. So you wanted that tone for them to put that essay down and go, wow, I had a good laugh and that was a fun essay to read. Just make sure they feel something. That's going to come from your stories. Those feelings and those impressions are going to come from the examples you give in your body paragraphs. So let's look at how to conclude the essay. Remember that best life introduction? When I wake up each morning, I am determined to live my best life. I know the saying is overused, but the message is important. This is my one life. This could be my last day, and I need to make it the best. Now, one thing you'll notice, you can sometimes swap your conclusion and introduction back. You can let them change places. I could easily switch these. Well, maybe not easily, but no, I think I could. I think I could easily swap this introduction and conclusion out. Let's look at this one. Wait a minute. Remember to scroll up a little bit. Remember my meth lady from just a second ago? This is my conclusion. I will still help people. She hasn't ruined me. I will not let her ruin me. I will still help people. That is just my nature. However, I will be more careful in the future. I refuse. See, I'm strong now. I've got my bold voice here. This is what I have learned. I refuse to expose my family to dangerous people ever again. I refuse to spend money that should go to my own family members. Okay? It's okay. Be strong and be bold. Well, let's see what happens with this little story. We're almost done with this part. Let's talk about Jimmy again. So our conclusion. Jimmy thought he wanted to play the trumpet. He's a little kid. He's 12 years old, right? His parents supported him and listened to many hours of sour notes with Jimmy marching around in the backyard with that trumpet. When Jimmy realized he had zero talent for the trumpet, his parents allowed him to try something new after he repaid them. He is now collecting equipment to create his own music studio. Happy ending. And nobody got over on somebody else. Jimmy found his calling, I guess. That's another conclusion the book gives you. You can read that if you want to. Let's look at some don'ts. Don't put brand new information in your conclusion unless it's a solution to the problem. So maybe you have gone through some problems in your essay or one main problem. It's okay to offer a solution in the conclusion, but not brand new information. Be careful of those overused phrases like living your best life and that kind of thing. You don't have to say anything like, I know this wasn't the best paper. Don't just repeat your introduction word for word. I know that's the trick that some 7th, 8th, ninth grade teachers will teach you, and that's fine for middle school and high school and all that, but a little more is expected out of you from college. You're expected to be a little more clever, a little more playful with your conclusions and introductions, but that comes with practice now. That comes with practice. Don't say anything like, in my essay, I have just shown you that blah, blah, blah. So play around with your conclusions and have a little fun with them, I suppose you could say. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is take a quick look at that essay I sent y'all this morning. And that'll be the last thing we do unless you have questions for me. I will be here with the meeting open as I always am. I do feel better. I'm going to monitor and make sure I'm not sick, and I should be back on Monday if you want to meet up face to face. Trying to get to my stuff here. If you have zeros, talk to me. Let's get that stuff resolved. I still have to mark people absent. I can't overlook that up to a certain point. You start trying to get all your stuff in on time, I can go back and look at those absences in a different light, okay? But I need you turning stuff in or we're never going to make any progress. And this is a short class. We'll be done in just a few weeks with intermediate. Okay. I'm going to send you this in a Word document. If you like it, you can use it to type on top of. Remember your MLA heading up here. You'll see that I've got my page number right there. It's kind of a lukewarm title. It's not so great. This paper is only double-spaced, by the way. All right. So I try to kind of grab my reader, and I'm going to fuss at them a little bit. This is my fussy essay. Procrastinating the essay is not going to make it any easier. So now I've got if my audience is students, then now I've got my student going, all right, Miss P. So I maybe made them a little uncomfortable, right? So yeah, I try to get them with an interesting sentence, not just, has anyone ever procrastinated? We all know what procrastinating is. I'm not excused from that at all. Then I talk some more. Then I have my thesis statement right here, and I always want my thesis statement right there, and it's got those 3 points in it. You're going to read about schedules, reading the directions, and making your learning environment fun. I'm not going to read the whole essay to you, y'all, just kind of the main points. Start with my first topic sentence. It comes directly out of my thesis statement. First, students should create a schedule for themselves. Popped it right out of there. I give some specific examples, mostly using myself. I give images, things that people can see these happening. I'm just being a little, these are personal essays. I can be a little casual and talk to my reader some. I need to also make sure I have time on my schedule, homework and study time on my schedule. I give some examples. You can see people playing cards and going to McDonald's, right? That's an image. Give your reader something to make an image from. Closing sentence should reflect or echo your topic sentence. Don't put in brand new information in your closing sentence. And some of you already know this little trick of including a transition to the next paragraph. You don't have to, but you can. Here's my closing sentence. It reflects what I said in my topic sentence without giving any kind of brand new information. Here, I remind the reader of what they just read. That's my transition there. Then I give them the brand new topic sentence. Came right out of my thesis statement. I give some more examples. I use transition words. Similarly, You don't have to have a transition word between every single sentence. Just put them where you feel like it will help your reader get from one sentence to the next. There's my closing sentence, reminding my reader, hey, this is what you just read. Closing sentence is very important. Okay, this is my last topic sentence. Now, I didn't have a directly stated transition to this topic sentence, but I did remind my reader of the whole point of the essay. I think it still counts. Then I start giving them some examples of this is how you can make your study environment a little more pleasant, something to look forward to instead of something that's such an awful chore. Have some snacks, clean your room, get some popcorn and Doritos, and don't be too unhealthy. Get some sliced fruit. And see, you want specific details. That's things that your reader can make an image of in their mind. All the senses, every sense that you can touch with your details. You know what Animal Crossing is. You can make a picture of that. You can see me wasting an hour playing Animal Crossing. And there's your closed sentence. And here I get to my conclusion. I try to always point back at my introduction with my conclusion. I didn't use the word procrastinating. I used the word prioritize because procrastinating and prioritizing, they're double first cousins, right? One's kind of the opposite of the other. And then I try, after I fussed at you the whole time, kind of, I say, hey, you don't have to let procrastination win. I try to leave kind of on a positive note there. Okay, so that's all I have planned for you today. I am happy 100% of the time if Sierra wants to get online and talk about comma splices for 45 minutes or 2 minutes. I'm more than happy to talk to her. All you got to do is let me know the how and when and where. But remember that you have an essay due on Sunday. I'm not available on Sundays too much now. Monday through Saturday, I'm good. I'm there for you. But Sunday's my day. Stick to your word count. I'd rather have closer to 410 than I would have 510 or 550 or 575. You can go over, don't get me wrong. But I don't want an 800 word essay. Now, I think that's all the fussing I had to do today. So, if you got questions, awesome. I will be here till 12:15. If you don't, that's okay too. And I will go over the second chances again tomorrow and try to break it down for you so that it's easy to understand. Okay? I'm going to stop recording here.